Welcome back to the PragueAntiguide channel. Today, we are visiting a place that many people in Prague may walk past without fully noticing, yet it has a very special history: the Baroque Church of St. Lawrence on Petrín Hill, right in the park near Petřín Tower. When most visitors think of Petřín, they imagine the lookout tower, the funicular, the gardens, and the beautiful views over Prague. And of course, all of that is true. Petrín is one of the city's most beloved places for a walk. But beyond the tourist paths and the famous viewpoints, there is a quieter side of the hill, a side connected with faith, history, and heritage. The Church of St. Lawrence is one of the best examples of that hidden Prague. This church is dedicated to St. Lawrence, an early Christian martyr whose name is known across Europe. The building we see today is Baroque, and that gives it a graceful, elegant character. Baroque architecture is often associated with movement, emotion, and beauty, and even in this peaceful park setting, the church carries that feeling. It may not be as famous as Prague's larger churches in the city center, but it has a charm that is much more intimate. One of the most interesting things about this place is that it stands on a site with a long religious past. The current church is only one part of a much older story. Over the centuries, this location has changed, developed, and adapted to new times. That makes the church more than just a beautiful building. It is also a witness to the history of Prague itself. It reminds us that the city is built not only of stone and streets, but also of memory and tradition. Today, the Church of St. Lawrence has a very important role. Since 1995, it has been used by the Old Catholic Church as its cathedral church. This is a significant detail because the Old Catholic Church is a Christian community that has its own history and identity. It emerged in the 19th century after disagreements within the Roman Catholic Church, especially over the question of papal infallibility. Old Catholics wished to stay close to earlier Christian traditions while maintaining a more independent church structure. So when you visit this church, you are not looking at an empty monument from the past. You are looking at a living place of worship. People still come here for services, prayer, and community life. That gives the building a special atmosphere. It is both historical and alive, both protected and active. The church is also officially recognized as a cultural monument of the Czech Republic. That means it is valued not only for religious reasons, but also as part of the country's cultural heritage. In Prague, where history is visible almost everywhere, this kind of protection is especially important. It helps preserve the character of the city and keeps places like this available for future generations. What makes the church especially beautiful is its setting. Petrín Hill is full of trees, quiet paths, and open spaces, and the church fits naturally into that landscape. There is something very peaceful about seeing a Baroque church surrounded by greenery, just a short walk from one of Prague's most famous viewpoints. The contrast is wonderful. On one side, the lively tourist area, on the other, a calm and reflective place that invites you to slow down. For many visitors, this church may become one of those unexpected discoveries that make a trip memorable. You may come to Petrin for the view from the tower, but if you take a little extra time, you can find a deeper story here. A story about faith, history, architecture, and the quiet beauty of Prague. The Church of St. Lawrence shows us that Prague is not only a city of grand squares and famous bridges. It is also a city of hidden places, spiritual traditions, and living heritage. So next time you are on Petrin Hill, take a moment to step away from the crowds and look for this church. It may be smaller than the tower, but in many ways, it tells an equally important story. That's all for today's video. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you next time on PragueAntiguide.